Hello there, it's Tailz here from Studio WyldFurr, and today I'm going to do a little bit of map building in Clip Studio as part of creating a tutorial to show you how to do map building in Clip Studio. So let's jump straight in. Now the main map tile pack I'm going to be using for this build will be the Steel Bunker map tiles pack. So it'll be a industrial, grungy looking build. So let's start. Now I'm in Clip Studio Paint. Now I've a quick overview. This program is fantastic for drawing and painting. Thus the name Paint, Clip Studio Paint. The only thing that I don't like about this program is the fact that the snapping to guides is not the best, or nigh on non-existent, unless you're drawing. If you're drawing, like if you're drawing perspective and stuff like that, it's fantastic. But that's the only thing, that's the only problem I have with Clip Studio Paint. Other than that, brilliant program. I fully recommend it if you're getting into map building. So let's start. So you click on File, New. So we're going to be creating a new canvas. Now, it'll bring up this dialog box. Oops, let me just adjust that. Okay, so first we're going to create a file name. So let's just call it map build until we figure out what we're doing. Now leave it as a illustration. Come down here and width and height. Now this is going to be the pixel based width and height. Change if the unit is, say for example, millimeters or something like that, change it to pixels, px. Pardon me. So px. Now width and height becomes important in determining how large your image is going to be. Now I'm going to start with a map canvas that is going to be 10 by 10 grid squares, and I use a grid square of 180 pixels for my map tiles. So 10 times 180 is 1800. So since it's going to be a square image, I'm going to create width and height of 1800. Resolution, drop that down to 72 because it's going to be for the virtual tabletop. Doesn't need to be that big. Color expression, make that color. You can have a paper background, that's perfectly fine. Once you've got all that set up, just go OK. Here is our blank canvas. Now I am going to turn on the grid, so we go View, Grid. Now this is the default grid that is set up in Clip Studio. We don't want that. It's not configured the right way. So we go to View, Grid Ruler Bar Settings. So we change, down here in this bottom piece, we change the gap to 180. Because that's how big our map tiles are. Now, you can have number of divisions, which is how many times it divides up that grid square. You can leave that there if you're going to be popping in bits and you want to have certain sizes and stuff. Generally, we don't need it. Make it 1. And there is our map with our grid. Now, again, when you drag and drop pieces on here, the snap isn't going to be fantastic, but we can get around that. So, when I'm building a map, I have another window open, which is my file browser. And I will have my map tiles of whatever pack I'm working on sitting here in the window. So for example, we're going to start with the floor. So let me go to the metal plate floor, because it's a big industrial sort of pack. So this is our floor. Now you can drag and drop into Clip Studio, but there's a little difference here other than most other graphics editing programs. If you drag and drop just straight into Clip Studio, it's actually going to open the image, open the file in its own window. So you can see here I've got another window, and I've got the original window from my map build. It'll open it in another window. because it thinks it's going to be editing this picture. We're going to be using this as an asset in our main picture. So drag and drop works a little bit differently. So instead of just drag and dropping straight onto the program, we want to drag and drop into the layers palette. That's this, assuming you've left the default setup the way it is, that's this palette right here. All the rest of this junk palettes and stuff, we'll cover that as we need, but generally with map building, you only need to use the layers palette and the move tools, and I'll cover the move tools in just a minute. But let's deal with the map palette, the layers palette right now. So on default, you'll see that you have a background, which is paper, assuming that you're drawing on paper, and then there'll be a layer. We can get rid of that layer, so we just select it, click on the little bin icon, and whoop, it's in the bin. Now we'll leave our background paper layer there because we want to have something on the back there. But one thing I am going to do, and I find this quite useful, is now we are going to change the color from just white to a slightly light grey, because I find the white is just so glaringly bright that I prefer to have a light grey. So let's just so we double click on this little palette here, we double click this square. Now this is if you were drawing, this would be the color that you'd be drawing with. So you double click there, brings up a layer palette. You can go through and select different colors. So we're just going to grab a very light off-white shade of grey. Select that, and then we're going to fill the background. So hopefully this will work the way I think it's going to work. No. Let's just go select all, edit. It's not doing what I thought it would. Oh, it's probably because it's not the right layer, it's a background layer. So let's just quickly create a layer. So come back to our layers palette, click on this little button down here called new raster layer. Now we've got a new layer, and let's just go edit, fill, and now it's filled it. Probably didn't need to select all. Deselect. Now it's filled it with that off-white grey, and it's just, I find that a lot more better, easier on the eyes to look at. It'll also help us because the edges of a lot of tiles, especially the walls, have a white edging, which means if I just drag it here to display, it means it's easy to see where the edging of the tile is. So it's just a little helpful thing. So let me just get rid of that. Okay, so this is a setup I like to use. It's just a little off-white, easier on the eyes. So as part of our next piece of setup, we want to create some folders in our layer palette. Now the folders is so that we can easily distinguish between all of the assets that we drag in, between walls, floor, ground, and feature objects. So let's start with, so you just down the bottom here, the little icon that says new layer folder. So we just create one, double click, and let's call this one the ground, because this will be where we'll put our dirt and grass and anything that's in the ground. Now we're going to create another folder. Call this floor. This is where our floor will go, which we want to be above the ground. And the same again for walls. And I also create a folder called features. Now, features is where I'll put things like objects, props, room contents, anything special like that. Or I may want to draw some features over the top. Like if I want to draw in a secret hidden door, I can do that in that layer separately, which will go over the top of all the other layers. But by having these layers, This helps us separate everything out, and means that, if we're hunting around to change our wall, we can just go into the layer for walls and find it. It also means that we can lock other layers so that we don't end up messing them up. But let's start with this. Let's start with our floor, because I'm going to create a little bunkery type building first. So now this is where the trick of sort of whether you start with your floor or whether you start with your walls depends upon what you're building. Sometimes it's better to start with your walls and then build the floor after that, because then once you've got your building layout with your walls, you can just go and fill in the floor. So let's do that. Sometimes I do it the other way around. I'll actually map out the floor and then build the walls to fit the floor. But we're going to start with the walls just in this example. So let's go to our steel walls. Okay, so let's start out. So let's just start with a... I think I've got... I think I've got big doors. Let me have a look. Here we go. Yep, I've got gigantic doors. Now the really cool thing about these is now these will be popping into the features folder. Now they're double wide, so I want to use these as like the entrance to a bunker. So let's just start with these. Now normally I put these in our features folder because I want them over the top of the walls folder. Let's drag it up here and let's put it about here. Now let's come back to our walls folder and start adding in. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Now you do that by the zoom tool. Just click on it and tap and you zoom it a bit. You'll notice that when I build stuff I zoom in and out all the time. So we go back to our move folder, our move tool, go back to our main selection of map tiles, down to our walls. So let's start with... Okay, so let's just start with a bit of basic wall. Oops, I just did the thing I shouldn't have done. Now this is the important bit. As you saw just then, when I dragged and dropped that straight in, because I use other programs, and the other programs let you just drop things onto an existing canvas. But in Clip Studio, if you do that, it opens it as an image because it thinks you want to draw in that image. Again, it's a drawing program. The way around that is that we need to click and drag and drop it into the layers palette. And you'll see there's a red line showing where it's going to get dropped. So if we go into walls, drop it there. And here it is, ready to go. Now, we can now move it around, put it wherever we want. Now, this is where there are two different move tools in Clip Studio. They both function a little bit differently. Now, this one here, the move layer, it will move a layer. So the contents of a layer, it'll move it around. This tool here, called Operation, and its operation is Object, it acts like the Move tool. So it moves the selected object. You can see here it's got, this object now has a blue highlight to it and little dots that allow us to do things such as rotate and scale and all that sort of jazz. Let's go undo. But the interesting thing about this tool is that it allows you to quickly switch between different elements that you've got placed on the canvas, and it'll jump between those elements. So for example, I've got the door selected, now I've got this wall. Now that can be really handy to quickly go and, if I'm moving this around, then I go, oh, I want this in a different position, I can now just move this. But the problem is that depending upon the positioning of certain objects, like for example, this might be over the top of that. You might want to you might want to move this one, but you might accidentally click on this bit over the top and move that. Whoop. So sometimes you have to be careful where you're clicking, but it is really quick to just grab stuff, move it around. Now, as I was saying before, we can see the grid, but it's nothing really snapping to it, so sometimes we need to just zoom in, make certain that we're getting some good snap. Here we go. So that's that piece where we want it. So now let's pop this one where we want it. So we want it sort of like, let's put the other side of the wall in. So put this here. There we go. Now, when you drag and drop new layers in, the program will automatically switch to the operation object tool. It can be good, bad that it does that. I like to switch back to the move tool because sometimes I find that I just want to move a specific thing around. Let's just get that back there. Cool. So we're going to have there we go. So what shall we do? We'll have this big doorway here. We'll have an entranceway here. So let's grab some. So let's have an interesting light on the entranceway. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly just whack these into position using the operation move tool. That's not quite the one I want. Oh no, that is the one I want. Oops. See, I'm so used to just dragging and dropping straight onto the canvas. So I have that there. Get back to this. So I'm going to go grab some cornerstones. So I'll use these ones. Come up to there. Again, I'm just getting them in position. I'll finesse it better in a moment. Because I'm making up this map as I go along. So I have absolutely no plan. Now, let's pop in these ones. I like these ones because they've got a little patterning. Like that there. There. So I might zoom in now, move it around. So this is where the ability to sort of grab stuff comes in useful. There we go. That's aligned to our grid. Let's zoom out a bit. Okay, so that's our entrance. So what I'm going to do, I'll put windows here. So I'll have like 4x4 rooms here. So maybe a machine gunner or somebody rather is in each of these rooms. There's a close defense for this bunker. So let's put a bit more wall. So hard to get around that muscle memory. Like I do most of my drawing actually in Clip Studio. I don't actually use it for map building quite so much, but there are quite a number of people who do. So this this tutorial is more for those people who do like to use Clip Studio for map building. If you don't, check out my tutorials on Photoshop or GIMP. I think out of all of the art programs that are out and about, I think GIMP actually has the best snap to grid of oops, undo. Now see how when I went to move this, I missed it and I clicked on the background and I ended up moving the background like that. You can stop that from happening, so let's just go undo. So what you do is you, with that layer selected, you come up here and you click the little lock. So that way, nothing will happen. It'll stay there. It's locked in place. I should have done that at the beginning. So let's grab this, pop it over here. So this is going to be a very simple little bunker. Just have a drink of water. Let's zoom in and get this aligned. Now the clicking you may hear is I have a little, this is a little tool that might be useful to some people. I have a little tool that I bought on Amazon, and it is quite literally just a little pad of 6 keys, and I have mapped to it the up, down, left, right keys, and page up, page down. So if I want to nudge things around, like for example this, if I just want to nudge that around, if I get that in position, and then I'm like, oh, I just need to move it down by 1 pixel, donk, there, and then 2, donk, there we go. It's a cool little way, because I use a Wacom tablet to do all of my drawing and artwork, and it has no up, down, left, right keys. And I find those up, down, left, right keys are awesome if you're map building, because often you're not dealing with many pixels. You're not dealing with like on the whole, this is 1,800 by 1,800, but each grid square is only 180 a square. So that's not a lot of pixels in the scheme of things. So moving up and down by 1, 2, 3 or pixels can be quite a big difference. So I find that little tool to be quite handy. So let's go back to our walls, and so we're going to have walls that come down the sides, so let's just fill that, whoops, there's that muscle memory. So into there, so we want it around there. There. Now we want to go over the other side. Got that one there. This one just below it. And this is probably a good time to start to build in those rooms. So again, I'm going to zoom in, just move these into position. Dunk, there. Go to the other side of the map. Do the same thing. Just move them around. as you can see, you know, 1 pixel, there we go. 1 pixel over, a couple of pixels up. Simple, done. Now I'm going to put in the corner pieces. Now I am going to use some textured pieces, so I like these ones. How they've got like the texture in the corners. I'm going to have to zoom back out because Clip Studio will put the art asset in the middle of the canvas. There we go. And this one. So I really like these little pieces on the, because it maps over nicely with those. It looks like it all belongs. And will I have? Yeah, we'll put a corridor in the background. So we'll have this one come in here. So it goes there, and then we'll put a doorway here. So we're going to need a cornerstone right there. So I'm going to use this one. That'll go there. Then we're going to have a wall piece here. Just a straight wall piece. Just a normal piece like that. So that'll go there. So let's just zoom in. Get these pieces all nicely put away. One more. And then we have this cornerstone goes there. Now we'll put a doorway there once we get a bit more of this built. So we could have a doorway here going into here, but this door would swing back and it would cover this entire area. So we're not going to have a doorway here. So we can make this one a bit bigger. So again, I'm going to use these corner textured pieces. So we'll put that one up in there. Then we've got this one. That could go there. Now because we've got a little bit more distance going, we can actually use some more of these textured pieces. So I might put that one there, because I might put a window out this way and this way. Whereas maybe this one doesn't get a window, it just gets a window here. So we'll put a flat piece. Put this one in here. There we go. Then we'll have this. We'll put a doorway here and have this come around here. So we need a corner piece, which will be this one. Then we'll have a flat piece, which is down here. There, that'll go about there when I finesse it. Cornerstone, so we want it is where is it? We want it down there, that one. So it'll go there. So let's just zoom in. Okay, let's just align all this. There we go. I I might just quickly chuck a piece on the other side of that wall. It's going to be a flat piece, so it doesn't need to be all that interesting, because the interesting bit will be the window. There we go. It'll go just there. Done. Now, I might do it the same thing here, because that's where that we've got to have a flat wall here, because that's where the door would swing open. So we just pop that there. There we go. Awesome. Okay, so that's the start of the front of our bunker. Now I'm going to put some windows in here. Now the windows are, well, they should be overlays. Yes, here we go. Okay, so this is a big window. This is a little window. Now the whole idea with these overlays, they go up into our features, same as our big door. Because the whole idea with the overlays is that we put them over our walls, like that. So let's just zoom in, make certain it's in the right spot. Oh no, this isn't an overlay, it's an actual wall piece. Ah, I'm a stupid idiot. So, I thought I made, because I started making, this is an actual wall piece, so it should go here. Because I changed making how I made windows a while ago, where instead of adding in all the shadowing for the wall and the wall itself, I made it an overlay so that it could slot over the top of this. So how can I get around that? What I'll do, let's have a look. I'm a silly duffer. Because effectively that's just what I want to do. But it's also around the wrong way. We want this around that way. So this is just going to cancel that. So this is another good thing about the operation tool, is that, see these little circles, the blue highlight, the circles, and this one up the top here. You can grab those and just rotate stuff. Now if you hold down shift, it will snap to 45-degree increments, which is really cool. So that's the way I want my window. And then when you switch to another tool, it'll consider that operation done. So it'll no longer want to edit what you've just done. So I'm going to put that there. Now, one thing I might do so I'm going to create a layer mask, see whether this will work the way I think it does. So let's go to change the size of my brush. Let's go for some black in here. Oh, it's not going to work the way I think it does. Problems of using far too many programs. Enable mask. Oh no, dude. I'm using that's my simple grubby brush. It should be allow me to draw. Oh, that's because, why is that not doing what I wanted to do? Okay. Apparently I am an idiot. Oh, hang on. Oh. Nothing works the way I remember. Oh. I'll figure that out. Anyway, I'll have to come back to that. Let's go back. Okay, so zoom back out. As I said, this is a great drawing program, but sometimes I get confused between it and Photoshop. Oh, I think I just did a really stupid thing. Hang on. So that's okay. This should definitely show that I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. I'm going to stop floundering here and come back when I know what I'm doing. Just erase. This probably is a good time for me to say, if the map tiles don't look the way that you want them to look, just change them. Change the artwork to suit what it is that you want. So for example, I'm just going to go and rip this apart right now, because it's just, it's bugging me now. Because I want this to be an overlay right here. So let's just delete a ton of stuff. And gone. Let's do the same thing out here. As they say in Pirates of the Caribbean, these are more like guidelines than hard rules. Never be afraid to just edit to be what you want. So that's more like what I wanted it to be. Because originally, when I first, because I've got to admit, this pack is actually quite old now. When I first created these art assets, because I've changed the way I make things now quite a lot. Oops. Go back. Zoom out. There we go. So the whole idea of this originally was that you would go and put that there, and then you'd come along and you'd build the rest of your wall. Oops. I'm not having a good stream. So you'd build the rest of your wall. You know, you'd go and put that one there. You'd put another one. Let's duplicate that. Let me do it. Yep. So you'd go and put that there. You know, you'd go and build the rest of your wall, and you'd have this just sitting there. But over the years, I've changed the way that I make these windows, that they're now overlays. As the graphics technology has changed, like first there was like JPEGs, and you couldn't have transparency. Then PNGs came along, and they gave you transparency. Well, actually, GIFs came along. They gave you transparency, but it was like a really it was either the pixel was either transparent or it had color in it. Whereas PNG's introduced something where you could have a pixel that has color in it, and it also has a degree of transparency, which is basically what this shadow is. The shadow is basically pixels that have black in them, but a differing degree until it gets to 0, which is transparent. So for example, here it would be 100% black, here it'd be 0% black. But it's changed over the years. But anyway, again, you know, if it's not looking the way you want it to look, change it. Make it different. The art assets are there as art assets. Don't feel compelled to, you know, leave them as is. Edit them a little bit, as I just did to, oops, to make it fit what you want it to fit. There we go. Now I'm going to have to do that with the big window, because those are the little ones. And I've got a big one I want to put in. Here we go. Have a look at this. Or actually, is this going to do what I think it's going to do? I think... okay, this is the way I actually create windows now. Check this out. This is going to be so much easier. Let's just turn this around. There we go. And voila. Let's put it about there. Voila. I'm an idiot. I should update this pack and change this window, but it's so old and I'm so lazy. But I'll create a new pack anyway. I'll create the Dark Bunker 2 pack with more steel artwork. I wanted to do like a map tiles specifically for like people who are playing the Warhammer 40,000 role-playing game, and have it all artworked for Necrons, so they could have Necrons in their game in like a Necron structure, or Necron themed structure. I thought that would be really cool. Don't know if I'd probably get sued by Games Workshop. I probably shouldn't risk it. Risk the biscuit. But anyway, enough of me looking like an idiot, because I just didn't know what the crap I was doing. Let's get back to map building. Okay, so our windows are up in there, walls are back down here, and this is the cool thing about folders, is you can collapse them so that you don't have to see all this junk, and you can hide stuff. Anyway, but I actually do need them open. What am I doing from here? I know. Let's just put this in. Why do we keep doing that? There we go. I really should stop doing that. That looks right. Actually, this is where I should get rid of that. Oops. No, undo. That's the one I want to get rid of. And use one of my passageways. I built them for doing this. Here we go. Why do I keep doing that? There we go. So that's what passageways are for. So we'll have a passageway here coming into a room and a room. Let's use another passageway. This one can go here. Let's make this a slightly larger room, so the passageway will go down a little bit more. There we go. So we want to have a Nexus room here. Oh, this is a... So let's put this one here, because this is an interesting bit of wall. There. And then we're going to need to put some more wall around the outside, so let's just quickly do that now. And I'm dropping it in the wrong place. Drop it on the layers palette, you stupid. Stupid. Here we go. Come here. There we go. And let's grab another piece. Donk. And there, and zoom in. Oops. And there. Okay, so back up. We need 2 end stones here. Come on. Here we go. Dead ends and door. Oh, no. We want cornerstones and doorways. That's what we want. And we just want one of these. And put it over here. There. There we go. Now, this is where we want to have some cornerstones here. So let's use these ones, bring them up, put them there. Now I'm going to go to the features and put a door here. Let's go to our doors. So that's the big one. We want a little one. Actually, I might use these ones. So this is to represent doors that slide into the walls. So go back to, oops, wrong, that one. Turn this around, move it over here. There we go. That is what I want. So that looks like a door that's sliding into the walls, like an automatic door, complete with sound effects. And I'll do the same thing. Will I do the same thing there, or will I have like a door like this? So let's bring it over here. Let's rotate it so that way it swings open this way. And let's put it. That looks about right. So let's put it forward a little bit, about there. Cool. So that's our doorway into that place. Zoom out. Let's get out of our features folder. Now, what are we going to do? We're going to have something similar over the side, or so we'll have this corridor come in. Maybe we'll have it turn here, and then a big room out the back here. How's that sound? So maybe, do we have a big curved wall? Let's have a look. 10-foot curved wall, that's what we want. And which one? What a nice flat texture. zoom in, get this placed properly. That looks correct, although I think this one is 1 pixel too high. There we go. Okay, so that's our curved wall there, which means we want to have a curved section here. We have little cornerstones. That should do that nicely. This one. There we are. Okay, so we'll have this come and sort of stop here. And we might put a curve there, and maybe have a doorway here. So I'll do something like, where are we? Where's our 5-foot curved walls? This one. Let's put that. So go about there. So assuming we'll have a doorway here, and then we have a door over there. So we need a flat piece of wall here. So let's use an interesting piece of wall. Let's use this one. Back to our cornerstones. So here's the flat one. There we go. So we need a flat piece of wall and a doorway. So come along. And then we have a doorway here. So we go back up the top. So let's actually use one of these. One of these with some fancy lights. There we go. So I'll pop back over to our features folder. Pop a door in here. Let's go back over here. Back up one to the doors folder. And we'll use the sliding door again. So we'll have it fully closed. That looks about right. So that's fully closed. So there's a big room here. Now maybe this could just be open. So let's go back to our steel walls, cornerstones and doorways. Grab this one, which is the other side, which goes into our walls folder. Grab that. Move it down. Plop it in place. So, how are we looking? Whoops. Let's go view 100%. So this is what our players would see so far. Obviously we're going to put a floor in. I just haven't gotten there yet. This has got to go over here. There we go. So we're starting to get towards the end of our building. So put a big room in here. So, you know, we could have something comes in here, you could park your vehicle around here. You've got like a room here and a room there. Maybe we could put storage rooms in here. So we could put little doors there. So we might do that. might do that. I have a funny feeling I used the passageway here, passageway tiles. Yep, I did. So let's get rid of those. Let's pop in a... So let's zoom in a bit. So these are going to be dead ends. So we'll need our passageways and dead ends folder. Let us put these ones. Let's go back up the top of our... Pop that there. And I want to duplicate that one. Dunk. Pop it here. There we go. So these could be like cupboards, the loo, whatever. Cornerstones and doorways. So we'll go and pop some. Use these ones. There. Let's duplicate that. Pop it here. There we go. Then we'll put some flat walls on the other side, or actually we put just flat wall, or we do this. We'll use this wall because it's an interesting looking wall. And then I'll duplicate that. Dunk. Scroll down. There we go. And then we just need to put some. We'll put the sliding doors in there. Doors. So we'll have one wide open. Now these go into our features because we want them over the top of the walls. And again, just rotate. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Where is it? Rotate it. And put it there. There's that one. And then we'll have the next one will be not as closed. So there we go. So that's, two little, there could be cupboards or something. Close up the features folder again. Zoom out, have a bit of a look. Is it looking the way that we want? Yeah, I quite like it. Okay, and so we're going to have two big rooms, maybe a connecting door down here. So let's just make these square. I was thinking I could copy that circular bit, but no. So let's use these walls with knobbly bits. Careful with me knobbly bits there. Put that there. So we'll put this one will go about here. This one. Down here. Now, put a big, so we should use, We'll use these ones, so we'll go one of these either side. So there. And there. Oh no. Do I want to have windows at the back here? Yes, yes, I want to have windows at the back here, so I'm not going to use these. Get rid of those. Away. Actually, I will put in the windows first. I'll show you how. That's where this would come in. So this would come in here. We would put this here. So I'll zoom in, get it in position. Looks about right. Now I'm going to duplicate it. Dunk. Put it over here, because this is going to be 2 rooms. There we go. So get this in position. That looks about right. Do the same thing with this one. And this piece. I can see that this one's over 1 pixel too many. That's all lining up. That's lining up. That's lining up. Now, doorway. So, come back up here. We want to use this one. Put this one here. There we go. Because this is where doorway is, so we have these little steps come around, and then we want to have a corner just in there. So I might actually use, because it'll look cool, this one, this little 5-foot curved section. Bring it down. Pop that in position there, and do the same, which is that one there. There we go. And then we have a doorway here, so let us grab. Okay, we want to have these ones, but we want to use this one over here. That goes there. And that piece is the other side. Oops. Oops again. I have to go up and grab it. That's the one I want, not that one. There we go. So our internal walls are almost done. I've just got to put the cornerstones there and this piece. So let's grab some cornery pieces. Oops. There we go. That's correct. Now we're just need cornerstones. So we want to have this one. And some cornerstones here. So I'll use, where is it? This one here. Actually, yeah, I'll use this one. And what's this? And there. Oh, okay, so how are we looking? So that's all our internal walls done. I should probably put a doorway here, or a door. So let's have a look. So let's use. That's the big blast door. I thought I made a little blast door. Was that it? That's the big one. That's the big blast door. Let's just use this. So this is mostly open. So we're going to have to turn this around. And there we go. It's in position. Good. Good, good, good. So I'll leave this one open. So you just walk straight through. So now it's just a case of putting the cladding through here. One thing I might do is I will add in because you see these areas here. I'm just going to fill them with white. So edit, fill, no. Edit, fill, and do the same thing over here. Edit, fill. Now you don't really need to fill these because if you're building this for use in, say, Fantasy Grounds or Foundry, once you put your dynamic lighting and walls in, you're not really going to see what's behind the walls. You know, we're not going to see these internal areas. Let's go deselect. Let's put this between the layers. So there we go. So that way we have the walls fade nicely into this white area, and it lifts everything out. Lifts out the walls, so you know that's a solid wall. Now let's just continue this wall around, like finish it, and then we can go and put the floor in. Okay. Steel walls. Let's start over here. Yep. So we want, where is it? These ones. actually do is I'll just zoom out, quickly plonk them in position, and then finesse them. So go around the back, start with this one. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. So roughly there. Goes here. Then this one. That one goes there. So we're going to need cornerstones here and here. But I'll grab those in just a minute. That goes there. Cornerstones. So what do I use up the top? Yep, got a little bit of an angle to them. So we want this one. This one will go in there, and that one over here. That's what we want. So, going to zoom in and just finesse them all into place. I think that is that for the walls. Zip. There's our building. So now to put in the floors. So this is where we go and lock that folder. So we can't edit it. Going to do the same thing with our features. It's now locked up. Time to pop in the floor. And we've got our white to fill in these areas. So now we do our floor sections. So as you can see, the floor should be relatively easy to work out now that we've got our walls in. So let's start with floor edge. So this is going to be out here. So that goes there. That's going to go there. Then we need to have this corner. here, and this corner, that's going to go about there. So let's just zoom in. Okay, there's the sort of step up into this section. Then we have, so we'll just do some straight metal plate. We'll use these large pieces, which I don't want to put there. I want to put it into our canvas. There. Oops, I've done it again. Okay, so it's our floor coming through here. So we'll use these ones, which are sort of like smaller panels, rather than just single large panels, to do the corridors, because I think it'll just look more interesting. Now, this is where I am going to go and hide my walls. So that way I can see how everything's lining up to the grid. And I've got a basic idea where everything goes. So now I know I have a room here. So let's just use this big metal plate, which should allow us to fill in this room in one whack. There. There we go. Now we have a little corridor that comes down here, so let's go back to these. There. And there. Oh. Come over one more. Now I need to have the floor in here. So let's use this pattern, this texture. This will be something nice and interesting for these rooms. So if I unhide the walls, yeah, that looks nice and interesting. So these rooms come into some sort of weird little grid, metal grid. Then we come back down here and continue to fill in the floor. Where's that gone? So I'll hide the walls again. Oops, I'll hide that white layer. There we go. And it comes to about here. Okay. So I might just put this in here so I know it's about here that it comes to. And then hide those. Oops. There. And we'll start back here again. Or actually, no, we'll use some of these big buds to quickly, oops, there, and then this one. Oh, that's filled out. Okay, so we've now got to fill in this one. So again, I'm going to use some of these. There. And use this one because it's got a really cool sort of hexagon. Whoops. Yep. Now use these again. Down through here. There we go. And this one. And then back to the big bricks for this. There we go. almost finished on this building. There we go. So, zoom out. Turn back on those, and there is our bunker. Ready for putting in furniture. So, now we have to look at what we're going to put around the outside. So, let's use a different one of our packs. So, lock that up. Where's the lock? There it is. Okay, now this is a good time to save. Save as. I'm just going to pop this into my projects folder. Call it map build. So that way if my computer crashes, I don't lose everything. Okay, so what are we going to do from here? Let's go to the wilderness. Let's go to Rocky Road. Let's put this into the ground. That's going to go about here. So I'll have the front of the building sitting on like a bit of a road. Old bit of grungy rock. And we could have it coming out like this. Yep, I'm liking that. So let's get these in position. So here is this piece. We just need some road edges. So that'll go there. Oh, it actually goes about here. So let's fill in the here. zoom in. There's our road out the front. Just need to get these in the right spot. There we go. So now we need to grass these. Where are we? Okay. That's just going to quickly fill that spot. This one will go into this spot. Now I need some 2x2 to quickly block in the grassed area. Okay, so let's zoom in, get them aligned. Okay, I'm going to hide the walls of the building so I quickly just line this up. There we go. Almost the last piece. Well, this actually may be the second last piece. This is the last piece. There we go. Lock that, turn that back on, and there is our map completed. So from here I would go and add in some props and objects. I'd then flatten it, export it out, import it into whatever virtual tabletop program we're using, and start setting it out as a little adventure. Thank you very much for watching. If you since the statistics say that most people probably would have left by now, thank you very much for staying with us. Please like and subscribe. I'll probably do a quick montage of this and speed it up by 1000%, but that's how to build an adventure map with map tiles. Thank you very much for watching. Catch you next time.